So I'll be doing a bit of an unboxing that I got from Best Buy. This is actually the World of Final Fantasy. World of Final Fantasy. This is actually more of a cutesy version of the Final Fantasy. So let me open this up and see how it goes. I already took the wrapping off because I'm just open this up. All this tab out. Let me push this. It's a really cool cover, you know, for this. And for this, here's the art book, and here's in the front, here's in the back. I mean, I really like this. This is actually one of my favorite parts about these versions. Like, you know, it's not just the art book, but it comes with a disc combined, which I think is unique. But to be honest, I would have preferred steel books because, you know, that would be more interesting. But I'm fine with this one instead, though. So I might have showed you this before. Here are the codes, which I can't show you. But here's the game inside. Pretty cool. And here's the patterns that I like. It's like a game where here's running here. Here's some other characters such as Rain and Lan. Here's some other characters right here, such as you know, Anna Cross and Masked Woman. Yeah. Hold on a sec. Here's some other characters which are now summoners. So here's Serafi and Tama. Sorry. And here's Claude. You guys might have known him from the Final Fantasy VII from the original game. Lightning from the third sequel. Ferris and Chocolate, which is weird. Sorry. Others on the inside of the art book is really cool though. So here's Quiddus from the 8th game. Here's Squall, Vivi, a Warrior of Light, and Yuna, and Charlotta and Rafia, and there's Princess Sarah. All these characters came from the original game, so it's kind of cool to see that. Yuna came from the 10th game and from another sequel though. So here's some concept arts, you know, which is pretty interesting. All these art books is really good. So here's another one here. Here's another one right here. Here's this kind of reminds me of a ripoff of Pokemon, but it's kind of. But here's a Palilinor. There's Frit in Bublitz and Zapt, which is kind of a pretty unique name for Mirages. Here are some other ones like Afride, and there's Ifrit, which is actually, and here Mishiva, and there's the Shiva. Here's a Shiva. If you're not familiar with the Shiva character, she is an ice queen from a lot of the original games. Like you might have seen Ifrit, same thing goes for him. He came a lot too. They're one of the most popular though. So yeah. So here's another one, which is Mirages from the Zapper and Ramu. And here's Carbuncle. You might have seen him, you might have seen him before in the game, some original games. And here's some other monsters named Imp and Fenrir. And here's some baby Toneberry. And here's a lot of versions of Toneberry. This is a baby version. This is actually a bit of his. We might have seen him this. You might have seen this one in the original games. Here's actually the king version of Toneberries. Here's the last one. For the most part, it's a really good art book. You know, this is I remember there's a collector's edition that comes with a soundtrack and some cutesy minifigures, which is kind of cool. But to be honest, I didn't really care for that as much because, you know, it doesn't have anything interesting. It doesn't really have the steelbook. To be honest with you, I would have preferred that one instead of the just a regular copy. But in the collector's edition, they got what's really cool about it is actually the book, which is pretty cool. To be honest, I had to get this version because, you know, it's a really cool book like this, like combined with an art book and a game, which I think is pretty unique for just like Tomb Raider. You know, it's really cool. Now let me give you a little review about this game. For the most part, let me say this before about this review. I'm not really into cutesiness of in this version of Final Fantasy. As I remember in the past, I remember I play games that are teen rated, such as like a Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those are the games I'm familiar with that are teen rated. But I'm not really into rated E for everyone as much because it just doesn't have that much violence. That's just me, you know. That's just me. For the most part, this game takes place where you get to travel around. You get two characters. You get to switch. You get to switch characters however you want, whether it's the male or female, you know, whatever. I don't really know much about the game, but for the most part, the game is pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty fun to play. There are monsters that we all once love and see. There's some other past versions of the characters, you know, some other from the original games. There's like a DLC which kind of involves with like Sephiroth from the both from Final Fantasy VII and from Crisis Core, which I think Crisis Core is actually the best game which is actually one of my favorite spin-off games, and it's a prequel game, so yeah. For the most part, this game is pretty interesting. The cutesiness, you get to travel on, and you also get to do, it's kind of the same thing from the original games, but what's completely different is actually the graphics. I mean, for the most part, the storytelling is pretty good for what it is, you know. I mean, there are some other summoning characters, like, you know, now, what's really different about this game is actually not, the summoning games, you only get to summon characters rather than aeons instead. Meaning, like, you get to summon characters like Yuna, Cloud, or Lightning, or anybody else, you know. It's pretty interesting. It's a game where you get to travel however you want, you know. It's for the most part, I enjoyed what it is, you know. You know, if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, you're new to this game, you should probably pick this one up. Get the limited edition, because it looks cool with an art book like this, so... okay. You know, overall, it's really a fun game. It's nothing, it's a fun game, it's a fun game, not very actionable, but to be honest, it still has some pros and cons here and there. The pro that I like about this game is like you get to do dual audio change, like you get to choose from English to Japanese. I'm more into listening to Japanese dialogue only for this one because you know it makes sense for a character because it feels like the emotions is very strong, and it has a lot of good things about the Japanese dialogue because it feels more emotional. It felt something right in your heart though. So that's why I like about this. You know, you get to do dual audio change. You also get to battle, and you know, and there's a lot of interesting things. You know, there are a lot. You know, I don't know though. That's just fun, man. Now the cons about this game, I'm not really into the cutesiness. Like I said, it's just not really what I'm used to. And the combat system is actually pretty much the same, but it's a little bit pretty weird. But you know, it's pretty fun. You know, it's just like, you know, you get to buy things, you get to upgrade, you get to do whatever you like. It's really fun. It's for the most part, I enjoyed it. You know, I mean, this is all I'm gonna have to say. What do you guys think about this game? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? This is all I'm gonna have to say. This is a bit of a short review, and I understand this isn't really much specific. But for the most part, it's really good. I would recommend this if you're new to the Final Fantasy world. If you already bought the Final Fantasy games, I think this one should be one for you to pick up. I mean, I understand people would not be interested for this, but it's pretty fun. You know, the cutesiness. It's not bad. You know, that's all I'm gonna have to say. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram to see more videos and photos like this. Hope you guys enjoy the videos, and peace. I'll see you in the next one. I might do another unboxing I might pick up Gears of War 4, maybe or maybe not. So yeah.